Welcome to News World Today. To get more updates, please subscribe this channel. Breaking: major explosion sees multiple injured in blast like a bomb near Leicester. A major explosion in Birstall near Leicester City has left 3 people injured, with witnesses describing the blast as like a bomb erupting. 3 people were injured this morning after one house was demolished and another partially destroyed in a suspected gas blast. Emergency services stormed to the scene after residents reported hearing a huge explosion like a bomb going off just after 7:30 am. The blast destroyed a semi-detached house in Allington Drive, Birstall, 3 miles from Leicester city centre. One man who is thought to live at the property was rushed to hospital, while 2 people living in the adjoining house were treated by paramedics. Eyewitness John Ketteringham, 31, was one of the first on the scene following the huge blast. He said, "We found one old chap buried in the rubble. He had bad head lacerations, and was unconscious, with a flight of stairs on top of him, but he was still breathing. It looks like it was a gas explosion. I was woken up by the bang and pulled my clothes on and ran to do what I could to help. There was a young boy who had just delivered the paper to the house that exploded. It was really lucky he wasn't hurt." The explosion threw bits of wood into the windows of the houses opposite, and all the cars have smashed windows. Margaret Burt, who lives opposite the wrecked houses, said, "I was in bed and I heard a terrific bang. My bedroom windows blew in. It was terrifying. The whole house was gone. One house has been left demolished after the explosion. It's just a pile of rubble, and next door lost a bedroom." David Voce, 50, of nearby Worcester Avenue, said, "I jumped out of bed when I heard the bang. It was incredibly loud. I thought my house was falling down. There was no fire, just an explosion. There have been loads of ambulances. I don't know if anyone was hurt." Jonathan Wheeler, 45, said, "I'd let my dog out into the garden when I heard an almighty boom. It sounded like a bomb going off. Within minutes all you could hear were sirens. I just hope no one was seriously hurt." Quentin Woodhouse, 61, who lives in Birstall, said, "My mum lives opposite. She's 91. Her front door and windows all blew in. She was very lucky not to be hurt. She just said it was a very loud bang, no flames as such. And when she came outside it looked pretty much as it does now, with the roof blown off." Muriel Robertson, 75, who lives in Allington Drive, said, "We just heard an almighty bang. There's quite a few houses damaged. I was asleep and I was woken up by the noise." A motorist driving along Abbey Lane said, "I was just passing the road where you turn off to get to the Space Center when I heard a bang, a sort of dull thud in the distance. My son, who was in the passenger seat, asked what it was. A woman and a young girl crossing at traffic lights in front of us also turned round when they heard it. It was about 7:30 am. A Leicestershire police spokesperson said, "Officers are at an address in Allington Drive, Birstall, at 7:33 am this morning following reports of a loud bang and house being damaged." Police, along with the fire and ambulance service, are at the scene. Investigations into the cause of the damage are in their very early stages. Allington Drive is currently closed and is likely to remain so for a number of hours while inquiries are carried out. 2 people are injured and are being attended to by paramedics. The nature of their injuries is not known at this time. A number of houses in the street have been evacuated as a precaution. Leicestershire Fire and Rescue Service said the semi-detached house had collapsed. They said there was no sign of a fire or a smell of gas. A neighboring property had also partially collapsed and 6 other houses were at risk. Surrounding houses have been evacuated while fire investigators and structural engineers assess the risk of further collapses.